everyone, welcome back. So today I'm filming a video for you guys about BTECs and specifically the one I did. So I did a level 3 extended diploma in fashion and clothing, but also just generally about BTECs versus A-levels, or just BTECs in general really. To let you know, maybe you're at school and you're finishing your GCSEs and you're not really sure whether to do A-levels or a BTEC. That was one of the things I was really stuck with. A bit of a story first. I really enjoyed textiles at school, but I also was like good at other subjects as well. So I was like, do I do A-levels and do some subjects that I know that I'm good at, or do I do a fashion or textiles based course that I also am good at but enjoy more? Ended up going backwards and forwards throughout the summer of if I was going to do a BTEC or A-levels. I actually started, when I started college, I started doing A-levels. I chose photography, textiles, philosophy, and was that it? Did I just do 3? I feel like I just chose 3. I think I just chose 3. I don't think I did 4. Yeah, I think I just did those 3. And it started off and I enjoyed the photography lessons, I enjoyed the textile lessons. I sort of enjoyed the philosophy lessons, but it wasn't what I thought it would be. I sort of liked half of it. There was 2 teachers and they did like different topics, and I liked one of the teachers' topics. It was similar to what I used to do in RE at school, but the other teacher was a bit strange and it was about Greek history and stuff, and I'm just not good at history, so I thought, oh, my camera battery's low. Okay, we're gonna have to be quick. So I just thought, no, I don't want to do that anymore, and I spoke to my teachers and they were able to swap me over to the fashion BTEC where I could still do textiles, I still did photography, I did more, I did graphics, we did sewing and pattern cutting and print techniques. We did loads of things, so it's not just, when you think of a BTEC you think of one subject and you think of the same class doing one long day, doing the same thing all day, and that sounds really boring, but it's not actually like that. You have lots of teachers that teach you different subjects that they like specialise in. So I had a pattern cutting teacher who taught us how to make the patterns for the clothes and how to sew them together and different ways of making garments with like fabrics and stuff. So that was one teacher. We also had a graphics teacher, a photography teacher, and then my like main tutor teacher who did like our textiles, print, and like other lessons that just bring it together as like a whole project. Yeah, that's my fashion BTEC rounded up. Most people have this like misconception that BTECs are not worth as much as A-levels, when actually in fact if you do a level 3 BTEC and you pass that course, it's equivalent to 3 A-levels, and obviously you get graded on that, so you can come out with a pass, merit or distinction, and then there's like multiple letters of it, but you get either pass, merit or distinction, and I suppose that's equivalent to C, B or an A. I'm not specifically sure, but unis see it as the same thing. In fact, we had quite a few people go to uni interviews that said they preferred people to do the BTEC. Specifically with my course being fashion, you can't really get as much into a subject than doing the fashion BTEC. There's no fashion A-level, there's textiles and photography, and if you do them, and art, you do have a solid base for it and you will be let onto a fashion degree or vice versa, similar course. But they did actually prefer if you had done the fashion BTEC, as it's very self-directed, whereas A-levels are less self-directed, I feel. And when you go to uni, everything is pretty much self-directed. You have a few lessons a week where you'll get told your brief or whatever. Not with all subjects, obviously. You couldn't really do a fashion BTEC and then go and do science at uni. But one thing that is definitely really important when you're choosing A-levels and BTECs is that if you like a subject, you need to really research into the course, because it might not be what you are expecting or what you did at GCSE, and then you might not like it as much, if that makes sense. So like a subject is a very broad thing, and then inside it you'll have lots of units, and you may not like those units, they may not be the same as what you did at GCSE, and then you not like the subject, and that's not a good thing because you can't always drop out. So yeah, make sure you research into your BTEC. My fashion BTEC isn't really that fashion-y, and that sounds stupid, but we don't learn about the fashion industry that much. We did a little bit in one of a unit, but it's mainly like art based. So if you were really good at drawing and you like fashion illustrations and that sort of thing, and looking into artists, and basically you have a sketchbook per project, and it has like a theme. So we had a World War II theme last year, and it was called Make, Do, Amend. So we had to like research into the war and the clothes and the print, like clothing print during the war, and find artists that did paintings and drawings in the war, and then make that into a textile print, and also design clothes that didn't necessarily have to be clothes that would be worn in World War II. They could be modern but have to have a link to it. So we basically do a sketchbook on that and make a garment, and that's generally the process for most of our units. So yeah, we didn't really learn much about how clothes are made, or we did a little bit but not as much as I thought. So yeah, just make sure you research into your course and make sure that that is something you would be interested in doing. BTECs are definitely good if you struggle with exams and the pressure of like revising. I know everyone struggles with the pressure of revising, but if you like really struggle with it and you know that GCSE was hard enough, like for me, I found it really stressful, but I managed to pull through, and with lots of different techniques I got the grades I needed and wanted for GCSE, and that was fine. So when it came to A-levels or BTECs, I really didn't know what to choose, because I knew that I survived GCSE, I'd probably be fine with A-levels, like it's stressful but the rest of the year is okay. And basically with BTECs you need to be really organised. You have constant, since the first day everything we did went towards a grade, towards our final grade, and you basically just need to be organised and know that once you do something, you go home, you write it up, you have it ready. Basically I did the practical stuff in college, I'd come home, I'd write it up and stick it in my sketchbook so it's all finished and done, and then we move on to the next thing the next day. And you basically have to do it like that. If you don't follow it through every day, then you're going to get behind, and then you're going to have so much work you won't be able to catch up. It's not like revising where you can do it all at the end and not have to do it every day throughout the whole of your year with A-levels and that. It's definitely something you need to keep on top of. So if you're really not good at doing your homework, then I don't know if BTEC is for you. The good thing about BTECs is that every time you do a unit, you get your grade back and feedback, so you can keep track of how you're doing throughout your 2 years. And now I've just finished, I sort of know what grade I'm going to come out with, because I've already got all my grades, and then if I sort of like add them up, then you would be able to figure it out. So yeah, that's quite a good thing. Also, because you start applying for uni beginning of the second year, so like October time, you start looking at universities, and then if you already know your like rough grades you've been getting, you can sort of work out where you'll be able to go. However, there are some negatives I've realised as I've been doing this BTEC for 2 years, and I thought they're also just as important to share with you guys. One of the main things that I think affected my time at college was that it was just one class. There was about, well, we had about maybe 16, 18 people to start with, and then I think when we finished there was like 14 of us. So it is a very tight-knit group, and obviously not everybody is gonna get on with each other necessarily. So definitely it's not as much of a good social life compared to A-levels, where you'll have like 4 different classes of like 30 people, for example. Another thing that I struggled with was you can't always rely on your teachers. You have to be quite independent with it. I'm not sure if this is across all BTECs. I'm assuming it would be. They can't like give you the answers or tell you what to write as such. They can help you. You do get feedback, but it is minimal, so you do have to be quite independent and forward thinking with what you could do to improve your grade. I always just try to do as much as possible, and then something will be right along the way. If it's not all right, it doesn't matter, it can just go in and be marked. If you just keep doing it, you'll eventually get something that is right. Okay, so that's almost all my points. I just want to overview the whole thing, that BTECs are good if you struggle with exams. You're not stupid if you choose to do a BTEC. It doesn't mean that you're not clever enough. One thing that did happen to me is that my tutor thought that I had moved from A-levels to a BTEC because I wasn't good enough for A-levels, and that was not the case at all. I decided that I wanted to change. I could have been fine with A-levels, but I just decided I wanted to focus on that one thing and put all my energy into that, and so that is why I changed. So you don't feel pressured by family or friends. If they're saying you shouldn't do a BTEC, you're better than that, no. Because you are as good as you are, and it doesn't matter what you choose to do. Like, if you choose a BTEC, then cool. If you choose A-levels, like, I respect you for that. And just do what you love, and you will go far in life if you do that. So yeah, just be true to yourself. Don't worry if other people are telling you that you shouldn't do a BTEC, because that's for stupid people. They're wrong. It is very challenging, and I'm sure that some people that do A-levels wouldn't be able to do a BTEC because the style is so different, and vice versa. Yeah, I hope this video was really helpful. Please leave a comment down below if you have any questions on this. I will be sure to answer all of them for you. Leave a like as well, and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time. Bye!